Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Now, today I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about a game called Anime Run. This game is super complicated, but once you kind of get the gist of it, you'll start to understand and probably get way better at it. It's got such a cool concept of an anime run esque. They base their game off of Cookie Run and other, I would say, like AFK style games. But the reason I like this game so much is because the comfort of this game. So I'll be showing you guys how to play the game, pretty much how everything works in the game, and then we'll move on. We'll move on from there. And what do you call it? Yeah, we'll get through this guide. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll put timestamps down below so you guys can understand everything. And if you guys enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, while we kind of discuss more and more about the game. All right. So the first thing I want to discuss with you guys is units. How do they work? What is the game plan? And how do you make them super strong? So first things first, I'm going to show you guys the team menu. This team menu does have a few things to talk about, one of them being how you put your characters on the team. We'll clear it real quick, and then I'll show you guys this up here. These are little trinkets that you guys can get from treasures. Treasures is a very specific type of loot box which allows you to get these very special pieces, and these treasures allow you to pretty much get super dope bonuses that you can use in the game, such as this one revives a teammate, this one gives you shield, and this one gives, like, they all have their own little cases. See, earn cash from each stage. That's a really good one, by the way, if you plan on doing like any type of grinding and stuff like that. And you're probably wondering, I have this, but I don't know how to level it up. I'll just show you real quick. If we go over here to your units section, and you go down here, you'll see that you have your treasures, artifacts, and your characters. I'll talk more about artifacts in their own little section, but treasures kind of fall in line with characters, so we'll knock this out first. They require these very special stones and a good bit of cash, and you actually can, level these things up. I cannot level that one up right now, but I will level it up when I get the chance. Now, why does this matter? This matters quite a bit because it changes the dynamic of your gameplay. The way that this actually works is these are buffs that will you can set to rudimentarily pretty much trigger every single couple seconds that they have on cooldown, or you can have them use them by hand whenever you're doing harder bits of content. So how does this work? How do you play? Now, the way that you actually play this game is you kind of need a tank, you need fighters, and you need backline mages. Now, there are different characters in this game, and if you're wondering, I see the logo, but I don't know what this character is, then the best way to tell is actually by checking at their, clicking on them, and you see their unit info. Right here it says defense. So that kind of shows you this one's charge, this one's ambush, this one's magic. So with that being the case, whenever you build your team, you kind of want to build it around a very specific tank. The meta right now, I don't particularly like it because if you have any type of fighters, they won't be useful in the beginning. Now, I'm going to be very real with you guys. Whenever you have a tank and you have a fighter, the fighter's always going to die first. And it's because fighters technically have a lot of, they technically have like a lot of defense, but they don't have enough defense. For instance, on this team, if I put Goku, level 95 Angel Goku right here with high defense next to my Broly, he's going to die because all characters attack the entire front line. It's not just the characters themselves. So it's not a singular character. It's going to be the entire front line gets attacked first. And they don't share the damage or anything like that, so Goku's going to die instantly. The reason why people play this game very specifically is because the way that they designed it, there's a very specific tank in mind. Now, if you check this chick out, she's very hard to play in the early game, but once you actually get some items on her and she's actually the move, she's pretty much the meta of the game right now. And it's kind of sad that that's the way that it's played out. I hope they change the design because with her being this way, being so useful, and the reason why she's useful is because she spawns another line and she spawns a defender here who will defend for you every single couple seconds. And that's just kind of the way you're supposed to play it. So you give her a bunch of defense buffs, and then all of a sudden her ghost of attacker will spawn, and then it will actually fight for you in the front line. The only downside is, once it's dead, she dies too, because she's not very strong. She's a mythical mage. She ain't, she ain't a tank. So you kind of want to make sure that she has her ghost, and make sure that ghost is very, very well fed with the amount of stuff we'll talk about in the accessory sections in a bit. But if you're in the early game, once you do the actual tutorial, it will give you Broly. Broly is pretty much the best frontline tank you could get because he has such high scaling and high stats. So since that's the case, we're going to go ahead and, I'm going to build based off this. Now, if you are playing in like the late game, you will notice that you could do something like this, where you could take your fighters into the backline instead. So I could take Angel Goku in the backline. It's weird, but the way that it's kind of set up, you'd have to like really, because I've seen it before. Like you get Broly, you get this chick in the front, you get Goku in the over here, and then like what do you call it? It's weird the way they set it up. Hang on, I'm trying to figure this out because it's a real niche way to do it. Yeah, once you put your fighters down, they're supposed to like get in the back like that. You see, Nanami is a fighter, so yeah, that's the way it's designed. Then there's other characters that are like mid, and you'll see like the what do you call it? The line right there. So it'll be like this character will go in the back line, but Luffy will also go in the back line because he's not a tank. You see what I mean? So technically, if this chick was a tank, I wouldn't have a problem getting Goku on the front line. For instance, I'm gonna take another tank like Sanji, put him on the front line, then put Goku in the back. Oh, that's just messed up. Okay, that's just not working correctly, so don't worry about that. Okay. Building the teams, pretty much the way you want to do it is you want to set it up to where you have like backline units like Frieza, a support if you want to, but honestly, there's no real crazy supports in the game. The way that everyone plays is burst damage off rip. So the way that I play, personally speaking, is I just play everything in the backline as much as I can. For instance, I have a few characters like Piccolo. He does good damage. He's very fast. I have Vegeta. He's just another wave unit who does good wave damage in the backline. And I'm taking these characters to max level pretty quickly, and I'm going to show you how to do that yourself. For instance, as you can see, I got a few level 100 commons over here. Got Gohan over here. I got Piccolo over here, but we'll talk about that in a sec. So once you kind of build that team and you're like, okay, so how do I, buff these guys? And I'm going to show you guys in this next section right here. But before that, let's go ahead and talk about bonds. These are just small buffs, very negligible. You could also sort your team if you wanted to, but after that, that's pretty much it. All right, so now that we click on the character, you can do it this way, or you can go straight from the front, go to units. It's going to do the exact same thing. And you click on characters, and you'll see all the characters that you have in the game. Now, there are different ways to buff the characters, and I'm going to show you some of them. For instance, this game lets you get every character in the game as long as you just, keep getting their fragments. For instance, I got Sasuke, and as you can see, I got fragments for Sasuke. I can ascend him, get him to the extra star. He'll buff his stats, and he'll be very strong across the board. I can do that with a couple characters here that I haven't done it for yet. As you can see, 5-star Zoro, and that's very dope. High attack. Dang, Zoro. Freaking, I might put him on a team. But besides that, though, whenever you come down to, like, most of the units in the game, besides the star section, you're going to want to level them up. It's going to give them a minor stat boost, but once you actually, like, select all, you'll see, oh, man, this costs a lot of stars. Don't worry. Later in the video, I'm going to show you guys how to, like, get more stars. But right now, I'm going to buff Zoro right there. Look at that. Now he gets a nice little buff across the board on stats. And then he's fully ascended, so he's like a fully ascended epic character. Very useful. Now, you can upgrade their skills. And as you can see, their skills will allow them to do like a lot of damage, a lot of bonus damage, depending on what character it is. Now, the problem with this is the fact that this requires you to get these little things, which require you to play very, very hard bits of content and spend a lot of money. But I'll be talking about how you get resources and stuff towards the end of the video. If you want to just do the timestamp will be there. But as you can see, the further you kind of take this, the further the level of the character has to be. So you'll see I won't be able to take him beyond level 77 because of the fact that I don't have him at 77. So with a character like Broly, this is going to be the exact same thing. Yes, you can upgrade his thing, but as you can see, if you go all the way over here, he will stop at level 60. I wish there was a freaking slider on this goddamn thing. But, the game's relatively new, so it is what it is. As you can see, I have to stop at level 60. It's going to cost me a lot, but at the same time, like, this is end game. This is something that you're not going to be doing at the beginning of the game. Now, what you're going to be doing at the beginning of the game is focusing on artifacts. What are artifacts, you may say? Artifacts are these very, very important kits that you can set up for certain characters, such as, see, I have the Namek attire, which allows me to get increased health and restore a bit of HP every 3 hits. As you can see, I put this on my Broly, and he also has increased stats. Now, let's go ahead and break into artifacts in general, because I don't want to just talk about leveling up characters here. Let's go ahead and move on to the artifacts section. Now, with artifacts, these things are very, very important to actually get a lot of damage. Look at that beautiful beat right there. That right there is a very, very strong artifact right there. And this thing's about to go to 45 real soon. 45, 45. That's literally 90 damage, 90 attack damage right there. 90% attack increase. And that is very broken, and that's on my Frieza. So you look at my Broly's attack stat, he's a defender. I'm not focusing on defense. And we'll go deeper into a video on builds after I make this video, because honestly, builds are going to be really, really like hard to do. Especially if you're in the early game and you don't understand anything, then this is going to be much harder for you. Okay, so look at the attack stat on my Frieza back here. He's doing real good. Look at that compared to every other character that I have. As you can see, all their attack stats are pretty low. Vegeta's is slightly higher because he also has a couple artifacts, nothing too crazy. But as you can see, he doesn't just have a very high attack stat because of his artifact. He also has that 35% damage increase with Armament Hockey V1. But as you can see, that attack stat is also because of the artifacts I put on this guy. As you can see, healing bonus, but attack 15%. Now, the way that these work is you could set up certain builds for certain things, like crit rate right here, crit damage, that's on my Piccolo. But what you really are aiming for is very specific pieces, and I'll go more into detail about that stuff in my build video, so keep an eye out for that. Yep. So after that, we're done with artifacts, we're done with characters. Now, we're pretty much going to dip into how do you progress, and what are the ways to get resources. Now, what are the things you can do and cannot do in this game off rip? And I've unlocked everything in the game so far, but I'm telling you now, there's a lot of stuff you have to unlock over time. This stuff is hard. The game is hard. It's ridiculously hard, overtuned as hell, and you have to play with a very specific meta or you die. And if you're not playing that meta by heart, you're going to die. So freaking, there's going to be a few things that are going to give you some nice bonuses. For instance, if you do hard mode on stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, you will get a nice stack of resources right there. All right, that's another stack of resources right there. You do the battle pass, nice stack of resources right there. You got your missions, nice stack of free resources right here all the time, all day. Now, you are going to get a lot of resources from in the game, such as whenever you do your certain bits. For instance, I have like different costume tokens. I got artifact boxes that I got from the stages. We'll talk about that in the story section of the deal. As you can see, I'll go ahead and take a look at that stuff in a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk about more resources that you can get, such as through the actual gameplay. So there is the liking group. Like it, you get a little bit of resources right there. Nice starter bit. There is an event. You're not going to be able to do this event as a new player. You're going to have to wait till you're very much end game. Dungeons. You might not be able to do these. These are incredibly freaking hard and they take forever to do, and you have to be level 20. I'm just going down. So from the top to the very down, whenever it comes down to how hard content is. Raids. You're not going to be able to do this as a new player. It's freaking ridiculously hard. And the resources are really nice from it, but it's so damn hard. It's insane. It's ridiculously hard. It's absolutely hard. So don't even think about it. All right? So freaking with that stuff, you're not going to be doing raids. You're not going to be doing all that. A lot of people can't even beat a lot of content in the game, and they have meta builds. So it's very, very hard. What's the next one? Oh, yeah, challenges. Challenges you're going to be able to do depending on if you can defeat the stage off rip. Now, there are challenges you're going to want to do, but I want to dig deep into that in a different video. You can only do each challenge one time. As you can see, you could get 100% tokens, you could get rainbow essence stones, you could get currencies. Now, the rainbow essence stones is probably the best one right there, honestly. Don't do currencies, don't do anything crappy. We'll talk about that in a video, because that's a lot of details I don't want to drag through you. There is a crafting menu, by the way. Not really much to talk about there. I ain't going to go too deep into that. Besides that, though, let's go ahead and dip into the actual story stages, what you're going to be actually doing and stuff like that, what you're not going to be able to do and stuff. So, now that we actually get into the story is probably going to be the most important tab in your entire freaking gameplay and your entire life. Now, with this being the case, you're going to be doing your story from easy to hard mode. You're going to be getting like a lot of resources depending on if you completed it the first time or not. As you can see, medium. I can't do medium on these. I think they're locked for now. You can do medium on a couple of these. You can do hard on some of these, and you get first time clear rewards. Nice stuff. But the real kicker is once you complete these levels, you're not really going to be doing the level. You're going to be doing infinite mode. The reason you're going to want to do infinite mode is because this is the best way to get gear boxes. This is the best way to get free trait tickets, costume skin tickets, and the best EXP you could possibly get in the game. Even if you could just get to level 10, that's good enough. Get to wave 10, you're good. If you could get to wave 20, even better. You don't need to go any further. Just put it on repeat. And there's going to be different ways you could do that, by the way, in the future. But there is a repeat button. There's repeat settings, but I want to talk about that when I get into gameplay. So, yeah, if you're waiting for that, just wait for that. There are ways you can get runes for every single character in the game, but this is so late game, you don't even want to touch this stuff, man. This stuff is so dang unnecessarily hard to do and super duper grindy. You're going to do this when you're finally at the very peak of your gameplay. You got your best team. You know which characters you want to get skilled up on because it's expensive, it's hard, and it's ridiculous. Master mode. This mode is one of the hard modes in the game. I forgot to bring this up earlier, but this mode is stupid freaking hard. It requires you to do some ridiculous leaps of challenges and all this other stuff, and this is because it's for one-time evolution items. Now, the issue with these is that freaking, man, they are just tough, man. Every single one of them levels are tough as heck and unnecessarily tough, but that's what is going to dip us into evolutions. Now, what evolutions do is they change the entire dynamic of the way that a character is played. Now, how does that work? It's because whenever you actually take a character such as Zoro over here, you get those pieces, he becomes Zoro with the bandana. Why is that the case? That's because I guess they messed up. This was unintended, I guess. Because this is supposed to go from like 2 years later Zoro to, what do you call it? Wano Zoro, especially because you're giving him that very specific three-sword style. But that's just me. Now, every single one of these characters does require those same things that require you to do very, very hard bits of content, except for the Battle Pass units, which you get that stuff specifically from the Battle Pass, so don't worry about it. Over here, this was required for the raids. It's just super freaking hard, man. It's some stupid content, man. Freaking, if you guys do it better than me, let me know. Carry me, because I'm having a tough time in this game trying to progress, because it's dang hard and complicated and all that stuff. Freaking, besides that, though, oh, man, did I forget to bring that up? Oh, no, I already did that. I already did all that stuff. Okay, I already brought up everything about characters. We talked about evolutions, small tidbit, small little section. Skins. You can get skins in this game. And they're really, really nice skins, honestly, because you can get skins for every character, including some characters that you like, honestly. For instance, I'm looking for shiny Frieza, which is cooler. Dang it. But once you actually get the skins, that's just kind of a small tidbit you can put on your character right there. You'll see costumes. There's lots and lots of costumes for different characters in the game. I love it. Honestly, it keeps me like going for those darn costume skin tokens, man, because I love them skins. All right. Now let's go ahead and dip into the summons. How do summons work and everything like that? And I want to dip into that and then dip into the UI, I think. So there's 3 banners. There's the standard banner, which allows you to pretty much get these characters featured. For instance, if you hit that mythical pity, you're walking away with Gon or Gon fragments. There's an auto skip button, by the way, for those who don't want to, wait for the whole damn thing. Trust me, it takes forever. But you got your epic characters right there. These are your 2 featured characters. You're going to get a lot more of them than any other character in the game. There's an index so you can see all the characters available inside the game right now, and there's quite a few, and they are a lot. There are a lot of characters. Now I'm going to tell you what, you're going to get a lot of fragments for characters you don't need fragments for, and I'm going to be real with you, because don't worry about it, just ascend them as fast as you possibly can, because it costs you nothing to ascend these characters. For instance, I've ascended all my commons in the game. I've ascended all my freaking rares in the game, as you can see. They're very easy to ascend. I've ascended a couple, characters, such as, look at that, Naruto ascended to max. And this is just me going for mythics that I need at the time. Rukia, Star, and Rukia right there. So don't be afraid to come over here and just ascend these guys for free. It's easy. You know, it's free to you. Like, you don't really need to worry about anything crazy like that. You're going to have a bunch of 5 stars that you can put on different teams in the future. Unless you like characters more than other characters, then do that, man. All right, so next we're going to talk about the VIP banner. This is just a banner for VIPs only, and this is just another chance at a mythic that you might want for cheap, and it works off the same pity. Now, the premium banner is a lot more complicated. Now, the way that this one works is you do pay a premium, but you have 6 times the chances at mythics. But the featured mythics are pretty crazy, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So, yeah, as you can see right there, you can walk away with absolutely jack diddy. And even with the 6 times chance, I don't particularly think it's worth it. I honestly think it's probably the worst banner in the game. Even though it is 6 times, it's going to hurt your soul, man. Because, yes, it's a 0.5 times. You could get a 3% chance over here. That's a really nice chance. But is that guaranteed? Not guaranteed unless you hit the pity. And that's the real pain right there, man. You really don't want to do that. Now, you know, you do get a good 30% chance at characters that you want. But then you also have like a high 66% chance to get Jack Diddy. And if you were aiming for Frieza, you might as well just hit the pity on the standard banner and focus on getting some other characters you might want too, especially if you haven't maxed out every character in the game. That's just the way that the banners work. Now, I do want to talk about the settings real quick. And there are some very, very important settings. There's auto next, there is auto replay. You can change these settings in the game, but you could also set them up here. Auto skip, disable VFX, auto fast replay. Now what this does is it just sets it up quickly for you so you could just like automatically do it, and it's much faster. You could turn off the lobby music, you could turn off the dungeon music, and that's if you're a content creator because copyright is a punk. All right, let's see. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about shop. Now, the shop is rather important because you can get some very, very good stuff, by the way. You could get some pretty good items from here. You could get some very cool skins from here and lots of premiums. Now, the reason why, I'm not talking about this, and I'm talking about this in particular about this game, is because if you go to the currency shop, you could actually spend gems and other stuff in here as well, such as I need these capsule boxes because I need to get my hands on some really good items. As you can see, for 500 gems, that's just free capsule boxes. Did I need to do that? No. You could also get some EXP for gems right there. You can get character fragments for gems. You get runes for gems. I would not recommend doing any of this at all. Don't spend anything on the cash shop. I know it shows you to do it in the beginning, but cash is king right now, and you really don't want to spend any cash. The reason why I would recommend spending gems on like item boxes, even though they're easy to get, is just to save time. Because I could be over here and walk away with another 10 pieces of gear and not have to AFK it. Let's see if I get a god roll. Ooh, not good. None of those are good. But yeah, I'll go over gear and stuff like that in another video right now. Let's go ahead and dip into the next part of the video, which is traits. Now, traits, I would like to go in a deep dive, but the way that they work is you kind of have the character, you get the character, and you can switch off their stuff. As you can see, boom, you get nice buffs. There's a crap ton of different buffs in the game, and you're pretty much going to get a very high chance at some of the good ones, and a very low chance at some of the bad ones. I mean, look at that, weak, flimsy. That's funny. That's funny to me. But as you can see over here, you get some decent ones, some very good ones, very, very good ones. And they can even change the dynamic of your gameplay, dynamic of your builds and stuff like that. And that's very, 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 very important to make sure that you get a lot of trait tickets. You get them from you could get them from challenges, you could get them from dungeons, and most definitely you could get them from doing like the collector rewards and stuff like that. You could also get them from doing the actual stages over there in story. Like I said, infinite mode's going to be your best friend and stuff like that. So besides that, I pretty much knocked out every single tidbit. Now we're going to go ahead and dip into the gameplay aspect of things and how it works, what can you do in the gameplay section, and pretty much how you actually play the game. Now let's go ahead and do something like infinite mode. I don't want to do Ennis Lobby. I want to do, because I need capsules. I need capsules so I can get more capsule based builds and stuff like that from the Dragon Ball section, because I need very specific god builds to keep progressing in the game. All right. So once you actually enter the game, you'll notice something, and that your characters are going to be running. Now, this is like, yeah, pretty crazy. Because once they actually get to a group of people, they will attack. Now, there is a very, very specific thing that you might want to do, and that is once you actually enter the game, you'll see right here you have this little green wheel over your characters. This just means you can set them to auto ultimate, which is pretty good. So I do this to a lot of characters, such as like Broly, this guy, this guy. But let's say you have like a character with a nuke, and you are playing like a very hard stage. Like if I'm going to be using Frieza, I'm going to be using Frieza for everything that he's got. For instance, you click over here on statistics, you can see the highest damage character right now is Frieza, and he's going to do a lot of damage with that beam, especially because that beam gains damage. So once that beam pops off, it's a free nuke. But if you're end game, you don't really need to worry about that because your characters are going to blitz everything in the game either way, especially if you already have god builds and stuff like that. So yeah, as you can see, some characters I do want to talk about. Some characters only attack one side. Some characters attack all sides. For instance, Frieza's beam hits every character in the game. Vegeta's beam only hits this side. Vegeta, and Piccolo, they hit their various respective sides. Broly hits everybody. There's yet to pay attention to how some of them work. For instance, there are some attacks that suck balls. Like Unawakened Broly, his attack sucks balls. It's a one tick, one attack, one deal, and it's only 100 damage. It's like really, really bad. But you want multi-hit. You want multiple ticks. Like, see, Gallic Gun, damage per tick. This one, Special Beam Cannon, 120% damage per tick. You got Vegeta's over here, 130. The only problem with this one in particular, like for Majin Vegeta, is the fact that his does tick only like 2 times, which kind of sucks. But, that is what it is. But you also want to do this for your items over here. We talked about these earlier. As you can see, these items, you have them on standby, and they'll give your characters buffs and stuff like that, or they'll give your characters buffs across the board. I don't particularly use the Sensu Bean on Infinite Mode. I actually use the coins on Infinite Mode because the Sensu Bean is only for like hard content. So, you want to make sure that you pay attention to some of that stuff. Now let's go into the details. Over here, you could disable VFX here. You could pretty much disable everything that you would be able to disable. For instance, I freaking hate screen shake, so I disable that in every game. It's just gross. Let's see. They have fast replay, fast auto replay. If you don't have auto replay or auto next on, you don't need to worry about that. You can turn off that background music. You can only hear the SFX. Now, I'll turn on my sound for you guys so you guys can hear it. It's very loud. No lie, I love hearing it because like it's very, very loud, but also very, very nice effects, like SFX and stuff like that. All right, so now if you look up here, we have replay and quit. If I quit, that's it, I quit. And you can see over here, I have access to pretty much mess with everything, such as see what my rewards are. It's 2 times drop rate right now. Statistics, who did the most damage, who took the most damage, who did the most healing, and who received the most healing. This is a nice indicator to tell you, okay, some characters are not doing enough. I need to put gear on these characters to make sure that they are doing their job. And this is important. As you can see, my Frieza with that crit rate, that damage bonus, all that stuff. He's doing very, very good work with good crit damage, good all that. He could be doing better, though. I'm working on getting the gear pieces. As you can see, Piccolo over here, 30% crit rate, 90% crit damage. That's because of his set that he has from the Soul Eater area. The bleach area. But the problem with this, right, is the fact that like I still need to work on building his set, building his kit, so I can get a full kit for this guy, so he can do a bunch of crit damage and do a lot of damage. But I actually might switch him out for Zoro now that I see Zoro's damage is pretty darn good. Vegeta, I want him to be good, but yet again, with the bombers and the way they work, they're probably some of the harder characters to build because they're so specific, so niche. But with that being the case, it is what it is. We'll work on him later. But yeah, my Frieza, he's got that damage. He's putting it in the work. My Broly, he's just defending. He's taking that damage. He's doing his job. So that's what I need him to be doing. Sometimes I'll even turn off his ability. I don't need him jumping in the air so the back line could get attacked. I need him front and center getting punched in the face. All right. So as you can see, they have auto replay, auto next. You can turn these on and they'll pretty much replay the game for you. But if you're doing infinite mode, I would suggest doing auto clicker on the side, just clicking over here on the side, just because with the auto clicker, you're going to be able to get like them to make sure that they don't kick you out. So that's very, very important. But you could go back to lobby and pretty much you played the game. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to do my best to edit this well and make sure that you guys get as much details as you guys can. If I missed anything, let me know down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take it easy and peace out. Much love. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.